Taylor Swift. I mean, the name itself is huge, right? She's way more than just a singer. She's a full-on global phenomenon. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how she did it, how she built this incredible career, took control of her own story, and yeah, became one of the most powerful people in culture today. All right, let's get into it.
So yeah, that really is the big question, isn't it? How does a songwriter, a girl from a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania who just loved writing poems and playing her guitar, how does she become this unstoppable cultural and economic force? It's kind of wild. Well, the answer really boils down to a few key chapters in her life.
So first up, the determined dreamer. And this is really where it all begins, with a young girl who had a super clear dream and, man, the drive to make it happen no matter what stood in her way. Just look at this timeline. I mean, the speed is what's so striking here. At just 11 years old, she's already in Nashville knocking on doors, trying to get a record deal. By 16, her debut album is out. And then boom, by age 20, she's holding a Grammy for Album of the Year. This wasn't a slow burn, not at all. This was a total explosion onto the scene. But here's the thing. That first trip to Nashville, at 11, it was a total bust. I mean, every single record company told her no. But did she give up? Absolutely not. She refused. And that right there, that single-minded focus, that determination we're talking about, well, that was the key that finally unlocked the door for her. In this quote, this really gets to the heart of her secret weapon. See, she wasn't just writing catchy songs. She was literally writing her diary, her life, into her music. And that created this incredibly powerful, super personal connection with her fans, They didn't just like her songs. They felt like they actually knew her. Okay, so she's a massive country music star, but she wasn't going to just stay there. Nope. Her next move was a huge creative risk, one that would totally transform her career and, honestly, the whole pop music landscape. Yeah, this was so much more than just a new album. It was a complete and total reinvention. Think about it. She deliberately left behind her Nashville roots, the whole country sound that made her famous in the first place. And with her album 1989, she just went all in on pure, shiny, global pop. So did that huge risk pay off? Oh, absolutely. I mean, 1989 wasn't just a successful album. You could call it a cultural reset. It gave us these monster hits, it won another Album of the Year Grammy, and it basically proved to the entire world that she could not only change her style, but she could completely conquer a brand new genre. All right, so after she conquered the pop world, she faced this totally new kind of challenge. And this wasn't about music. It was about ownership. This is the chapter where the artist really becomes a super savvy businesswoman. So here's what happened. Let's just break it down. The original recordings, the masters of her life's work, they were sold without her even having a chance to buy them. So what does she do? She announces this plan that is just completely unheard of. She's going to re-record every single one of those albums, song by song, so that she, and only she, owns her art completely. And that quote right there, that was basically her mission statement. These re-recordings, they were a total power play, a declaration of independence that just sent a massive shockwave through the entire music industry, raising this huge question: who should actually own an artist's work? And that brings us pretty much to today. So after reinventing her sound and literally reclaiming her legacy, she did something that nobody had ever even tried before. She decided to put all of her different musical lives, all of her eras, together on one single stage. And the result? I mean, it was just staggering. The Eras Tour didn't just do well. It became the single highest-grossing tour in the history of music. We're not just talking about a series of concerts here. This was a history-making, full-blown cultural event. And what makes this tour so incredibly special is that it's a celebration of her whole journey. Fans aren't just showing up to hear the hits. No, they come dressed up to represent their favorite album, their favorite era. And that turns every single concert into this massive, interactive tribute to her evolution as an artist. It's amazing.
Okay, so we've seen the what and the how of her career. But now, let's get into the why. Why do so many millions of people connect with her on such a deep, personal level? Well, I think it really comes down to a few core ideas. A philosophy, really, that she weaves into everything she does.
And this first idea is so central to her whole worldview. It's this idea that beyond all the awards and the record sales, there's this simple, powerful message about just being kind. She's suggesting that true success isn't really about what you achieve, but it's about how you treat people along the way. So for her, a real legacy isn't measured in hit songs or sold-out stadiums. It's measured in the positive impact you leave behind on the world and on the people you meet. And here's the other really important pillar of her philosophy. This one is a message aimed right at her fans. In a world that's always telling us to change or be someone else, her message has always been consistent. Just accept yourself radically and completely. And that right there, that is empowerment in action. Because by being so unapologetically herself through every single one of her eras, the country singer, the pop superstar, the powerful businesswoman, she gives millions of people the strength and the confidence to do the same thing in their own lives. And that connection, that's her superpower. So, as we wrap up this explainer on her just incredible journey, her whole philosophy really leaves us with a question to ask ourselves. And it's not about fame or fortune, it's about impact. What's the story you want your life to tell? And ultimately, what legacy do you want to leave behind?